Welcome to your 2-week post-operative appointment. Thank you for meeting with me today to review a post-gastric bypass surgery diet. It is now time to implement new eating and drinking behaviors to heal your stomach properly.
Thank you. I'm ready to jumpstart this new journey.
With your new stomach being 1 ounce in size, this stomach will take about 6 to 8 weeks to heal.
How should I go about promoting healing from my gastric bypass?
To help this healing process, you will progress through a 5-stage diet encompassing soft, high-protein foods.
Since I had my surgery 2 weeks ago, what does this diet entail and what type of foods can I eat?
Since you are 2 weeks post-operation, let's review your past few weeks. Your surgeon had you put on stage 1, which is water for 1 day, the day after you had surgery. After 1 day on stage 1 of the diet, your doctor transitioned you to stage 2 for 1 day, which included clear liquids. You tolerated both stage 1 and stage 2 well, therefore you were progressed to stage 3 for 2 weeks, which included high-protein full liquids.
Yes, that is correct.
It is now time for a progression from high-protein liquid foods to soft high-protein foods. How do you feel you have tolerated stage 3 of the diet?
I feel as though my body has adjusted quite well after the surgery. I have been able to tolerate stage 1 of just water when I was in the hospital right after surgery, stage 2 of clear liquids, and stage 3 of high-protein full liquids. I am ready for stage 4.
That is good to hear that you are tolerating the liquid diet well. With that being said, it is an appropriate time to transition you to stage 4 of the bariatric diet.
What are the details of stage 4 of the bariatric diet?
Stage 4 includes soft, moist protein, and the duration usually lasts for 4 to 6 weeks. The major goal of this stage includes 64 plus ounces of fluid and 50 to 60 grams of protein.
Are there any foods I should avoid?
Yes, you should avoid fresh fruits and fresh vegetables and high-carbohydrate, starchy foods. If you are meeting your protein goals, you may add in a half a cup of mashed potatoes made with skim milk or mashed cooked vegetables one time a day.
Will I need to invest in any supplements since the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass is malabsorptive procedure?
Yes, I recommend that you start a multivitamin, a calcium citrate plus vitamin D supplement, a vitamin D3 supplement, and a vitamin B12 supplement. Take the multivitamin once a day for at least 6 months. Take 1,200 to 1,500 milligrams of calcium citrate plus vitamin D supplement once a day, taking only 600 milligrams at a time. The vitamin B12 of 1,000 micrograms per day should be taken once a day, and lastly, a vitamin D3 supplement of 1,000 IUs per day.
Thank you. Since this is a high protein stage, what are some key protein sources?
Protein is needed to heal your wounds, maintain body functions, and maintain lean muscle. You will want to keep your protein sources moist. You can do this by adding gravy, sausage, and salad dressings. Example of protein sources are ground meat that is 93% fat-free, fish such as halibut, chicken or turkey without skin, and baby food. All protein sources should be 2.5 to 3 ounces.
In addition to animal sources, are there any vegetable protein sources?
Good question. Yes, there are a few vegetarian sources that can be consumed if you prefer vegetarian sources over animal sources. These sources include 3 ounces of fat-free cottage cheese, 1 large egg, or 2 tablespoons of hummus.
Thank you. I like animal sources of protein, but would also like to incorporate vegetarian sources. Will I be allowed to drink fluid with my meals?
To help meet both fluid and nutrient needs, do not drink fluid with meals. You will need to keep fluids separate from meals by at least 30 minutes.
What would a sample day look like for a stage 4?
A sample day will look like this. Here's a chart. You will want to consume meals very slowly, about 45 minutes. If you feel full, stop immediately. Make sure to chop all foods until they are ground consistency. Let me review a sample day with you. An example of a meal would be fluids at 7 o'clock a.m. and meal number 1 at 8 o'clock a.m. And then you would want to have about 5 small meals a day. An example of a meal could be a half a cup of fat-free turkey chili, which is 92 kilocalories and 8 grams of protein.
Thank you. That was helpful to see a full day menu.
No problem. I recommend you keep a food journal to keep track of how much protein you are consuming. Protein is key in this stage for wound healing. You should aim for a goal of 50 to 60 grams of protein per day.
How do you recommend keeping track of your protein intake?
There are online resources available, such as Super Tracker, that will allow you to enter in the protein sources you eat and will calculate the grams you are receiving. I also recommend using a food scale to measure out 3 ounces of protein, or noting that the protein source, if an animal source, should be about the size of your palm.
Thank you for that recommendation. I will make sure my protein sources are 3 ounces if an animal source.
If you have any questions, please feel free to call any member of your medical team. Let's follow up in 2 weeks to see how you are tolerating stage 4 of the high-protein soft foods. And in 4 to 6 weeks, we can talk about progressing to stage 5 of the diet, which is low fat, low sugar, and high protein.
That sounds great. Thank you for your recommendation.